Imagine if a modern tech giant decided to build its own private military, conquer a subcontinent, and rule over millions of people. It sounds like dystopian science fiction, but 400 years ago, a single corporation actually did it. The December 1600 Royal Charter focused on a single target, the Indonesian spice trade. To capture that market, the company first had to dismantle the existing Dutch monopoly. The Dutch were already too entrenched. After failing to dislodge them, the company pivoted. By 1612, they set up a modest merchant outpost in the Indian port city of Surat, hoping to buy cotton and silk instead. For over a century, they operated as guests, bound by the strict rules of the mighty Mughal Empire. But by the early 18th century, that empire began fracturing into smaller, competing regional kingdoms, severely destabilizing local markets. Faced with a chaotic political landscape that threatened their margins, the company realized that politely asking for trading privileges was no longer viable. To protect their profits, they decided to write the rules themselves. They began arming their merchant vessels and constructing grand administrative capitals along the coast. These fortified outposts were designed to physically intimidate and expel their French and Dutch competitors. This aggressive expansion triggered a direct conflict with the Nawab of Bengal in 1757. At the Battle of Plassey, company executive Robert Clive avoided relying on military tactics and simply bought the opposition. He bribed the Nawab's top commander, who kept his troops out of the fight entirely, securing a cheap and decisive corporate victory. 7 years later, the company cemented its dominance at the Battle of Buxar, defeating a coalition of Indian rulers. As part of the surrender terms, they extracted a concession called the Diwani. This was the legal right to collect taxes across the entire Bengal region. This chart visualizes a devastating economic shift known as the wealth drain. Before the Diwani, the company brought gold and silver from Britain to buy Indian textiles. Now, local tax revenue flowed directly into the company's coffers, and they used that exact same money to purchase Indian goods. The company then shipped those effectively free goods back to European markets, converting them into stacks of profit that stayed entirely in Britain. By seizing the power of taxation to fund its own exports, the East India Company effectively converted an entire region into a captive asset. This bar chart tracks the growth of the company's military force. Funded by tax revenue, they recruited thousands of local Indian soldiers, or sepoys, to build a corporate militia that eventually reached 260,000 men, roughly twice the size of the official British National Army. They unleashed this military machine on the remaining regional powers. Through brutal wars, they systematically broke the powerful Maratha Empire and the Kingdom of Mysore, violently absorbing their territories into the corporate portfolio. For states they didn't conquer outright, they employed the subsidiary alliance. This operated like a mafia protection racket. The company forced local princes to pay for East India Company troops stationed in their lands, effectively stripping the rulers of their military independence and foreign policy. They also weaponized legal loopholes. If an allied ruler died without a biological male heir, the company simply invalidated any adopted successors. They would automatically annex the kingdom, transferring the land straight onto their balance sheet under a policy called the Doctrine of Lapse. Through direct warfare, through financial extortion, and aggressive legal manipulation, a single private corporation swallowed up an entire subcontinent under the guise of administration. Running a country exclusively for shareholder value is a fragile model. The company's relentless wealth extraction, crushing tax rates, and systematic dismantling of traditional Indian industries plunged millions into extreme poverty. The breaking point arrived with the Rebellion of 1857. In a bitter twist of irony, the very tool used to secure its monopoly, its massive private army of Indian soldiers, turned their weapons on their corporate commanders in a nationwide uprising. The rebellion required a massive influx of regular British troops to suppress. It became glaringly obvious to Parliament in London that a board of directors chasing profits was unequipped to govern a nation gripped by revolution. In response, Parliament passed the Government of India Act of 1858. The legislation officially liquidated the East India Company's territorial power and transferred absolute authority over India directly to the British Crown. The East India Company was eventually dissolved, leaving behind a map redrawn by corporate interests and a population governed by the ledger. It serves as a stark reminder of the human cost that follows when an entire nation is treated as just a line item on a balance sheet.